morning. I wanted to just do a brief explanation of how you're supposed to do the 7-8 packet where you're graphing the square root equations. What I'm getting from some people is they're just graphing it on a computer, just looking at what the graph looks like and just making like a really rough sketch. Like I'll see some people just turn in and just do that. I need you to at least make a table, explain like how you know what it looks like the way it does. So just real quick, the parent function of all these square root signs looks like this, which I'm sure most of you could have done yourself, but it's y equals the, let me expand this. Okay, so y equals the square root of x. So that's what it looks like. And if you look closely when, whoops, the way they're coming up with the graph, if you, let's say you didn't have a graphing calculator, it's the perfect squares of x. So when x is 0, y is 0. The square root is it's 0. The square root of 1 is 1. You don't want to do the typical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because square root of 2 and square root of 3 are going to be decimals. So you want to just jump to the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So if you see over here on the right, it's lining up with the graph. The next one would be the square root of 9. Oops, the square root of 9 is 3. And the reason why there's nothing over here on the negative side is because if you enter in x's negative, there is no real square root for -9. There just isn't. You'd have to get into imaginary numbers. So then 16, the square root of 16 is 4. So what you're doing is you're square rooting everything. So if you were to add 1, like with problem number 1, you're shifting it up 1. All right, if you subtract, oops, let me just add one more. If I did y equals the square root of x and then you minus 2, it shifts down 2. Okay, so back to problem number 1. So let me go ahead and walk you how you're supposed to do problem number 1. It says +1, so that's telling you it's going to shift up 1. So on your paper, just do a rough sketch or a table of values of how you're coming up with your graph. So for number 1, for example, how it says y equals the square root of x plus 1, you already know it's going to be shifted up 1, but you still want to use x values that you can square root. So your table of values would be, I'm going to have it go sideways. Let's just say I'm going to use 0. I'm going to use 1, 4, 9, and 16. Maybe I'll be able to fit it all. Maybe I won't. So you're going to find each square root and then add 1 to it. So the square root of 0, 0, add 1, it's 1. The square root of 1 is 1. Then I'm going to add 1 to it, so it's going to be 2. The square root of 4 is 2, add 1. The square root of 9 is 3, so I'm going to add 1 to that. And the square root of 16 is 4. I'm going to add 1, it's 5. Then you're going to sketch it. So, because I know most of you probably don't have graph paper with you, just do the best you can. It's all in the positives. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the first quadrant. X is going to go to 16, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the Y's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just do the best you can. Oops, I'm going to run out of time here. So let's see how this goes. So it's going to be 0, 1, 0, what? Oops, this is going to be a mess. 1, so it's going to be 1, 2,